What's up, YouTube? CountryBoyPrepper here. So I got a little project I'm going to get started on today. It's probably going to take me several days or even weeks to complete it because it's pretty cold right now this time of year, and this paint will probably take quite a while to harden up, but we'll see how it goes. Y'all might have seen from a previous video that I've acquired a CompM4, Aimpoint CompM4 here. Got a really sweet deal on it. Traded a guy a Glock 22 for this straight up, and you can see here it had some green come on, work with me, green spray paint on it here, and I've taken some sandpaper and tried to see if I could get some of that off. Probably wasn't the best method to use. You can see I not only took off some of the green, but I also took off some of the original finish. You can see some shine coming through there, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I've said all along throughout this build that the whole idea was to build a battle rifle, a fighting rifle, not a showpiece. Even though I am putting a lot of money into it, and I do care about how it looks, so to speak. You know, this is going to be a fighting rifle. I do plan to do some serious training with it, and ultimately I'm not that concerned if it gets a little bit beat up or whatever. So you know, this doesn't bother me too much. I'm gonna do my best to paint it and make it look good to start out with, but after that it'll be what it is, and I'll touch it up if I ever need to. But anyway, I got some of this Brownell's Aluma-Hyde 2 Magpul FDE, obviously from Brownell's. This stuff has been on back order quite a lot lately. I believe it's still on back order. I had to wait over a month to get mine, and it's about 30 bucks shipped if you want it, about $28 I believe. So I've tried this before. If you've watched some of my previous videos I've done about it, I tried the coyote color, and it wasn't a very good match for the Magpul FDE, but I'm hoping that since this one is branded as Magpul FDE that it's going to be much closer, and I've heard good things about it, so we're going to find out with this project here. I got some painter's tape here. What I'm probably going to do, haven't completely made up my mind, but I'm probably going to I'm probably going to tape up the two ends that are black here, and here, and I'll probably tape up the knob here and the knob over here, and mainly I'm just going to paint the center main body of it. Probably going to leave this knob black, and I may just take the whole base of it off. I don't know. I kind of want to leave it on there so I can use it to hang it from, but I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of going through the process. It's going to be a long, slow, meticulous process probably, and not super interesting, but I'll kind of update you as I go along. First thing I'm going to do is tape it up, and I'm going to get some mineral spirits, degrease it, make sure it's nice and clean, and hang it, and then I'll spray it, light coat, and let it sit probably for at least a day, maybe more, depending how it goes, and then reassess, possibly put another coat if needed, and go from there. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so what I've decided to do now is basically I put a little bit of tape right here over the serial number and the Made in Sweden part. I just wanted to save my serial number is all, really. Went ahead and took off all of the rubber keepers for all the knobs. I just took those off. Those are real easy to pop off, no big deal. And other than that, I taped up right here. Hang on, I'm doing this one-handed. Taped up right here where this little circle is, where this white mark is, showing indicating what setting it's on. Not necessarily a number, but there's a white arrow you can see as a reference. And then also you can see I taped up my two end caps, basically kept those black. And what I've decided to do is I'm just going to go ahead and paint everything else, just the whole thing, mount, base, everything, the knobs, the adjustment knob, the battery cap, and just go ahead and paint everything else with this FDE Aluma-Hyde 2 and call it good. We'll see how that turns out, because I mean everything's got a little bit of green on it, and then you can see on these knobs up here where I sanded, some of it's got silver shining through, so you know, if I left it unpainted it would just kind of stick out, I think. and which, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I just rather go ahead and paint it all and have it look good. All the stuff I've got taped up is essentially black. So anyway, I'm going to get some mineral spirits, do some degreasing real quick, wipe it down good, and hang it by a coat hanger, and we'll be ready to start spraying. Alrighty, the deed is done. I tell you what, that Aluma-Hyde, man, when you're spraying it, the biggest thing to be careful of is spraying too much. I mean, it literally took me maybe 30 seconds to spray this thing, and very, very few swipes. I mean, it's, you really have to try to limit the amount of paint you're putting on there and try to do it as evenly as you can. And it's very, very easy to get too much very quickly. Less is more type of thing. You know, if it looks like it's close to being good, you better start really slowing down. Yeah, I mean, I learned that the first time with my knife project. I'll kind of swing around here. And I don't think I did too much on this job here. I think I nailed it perfectly. I know if you put too much, it's real easy. It'll like if you put a whole bunch of coats or really goop it up, I've heard that it'll lose its flatness. It'll get kind of a sheen to it. I don't know. I mean, this is my first experience using it, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm real happy with the color of it initially. I mean, it'll have to dry and we'll have to see. I definitely can see it looks a lot better than my knife project with the coyote color. But and the light's not really good right here. I don't know how the video will look, but I'm going to let this set probably at least 24 hours, maybe more. We'll see. I'm probably going to take it inside where it's a little bit warmer. The directions actually say don't attempt to do this if it's up below 70 degrees, but I'm not going to wait till summertime. But man, you just really got to be careful, and you know, it doesn't take much, really. It does not take much. I used, I mean, I'm talking like 3% of the quantity in the can, maybe 3 to 5%. Very, very few swipes to do a little job like this. A little goes a long, long way. It's really easy to overdo it. And I don't see anything on here that looks like it's anywhere close to running. I think I nailed it pretty good on this first attempt. But we'll see. Next clip will be after it dries. I'll give you a better look at what it looks like in some decent light. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's the finished project. Got all the tape off the Aimpoint here. The paint is nice and hardened up. I ended up just going with one coat on it instead of 2 or 3. It could probably use another coat, honestly, but I'm just not that worried about it. You know, if I ever need to touch it up, I can always do that, and I'm just not that concerned with it. I'm just going to go with one coat for now. If you look at it really closely in some areas, you can see where, you know, in some of the crevices I had a hard time getting good coverage, but it's just not that big a deal, not that important to me, and it looks great just like it is. So I'm just going to go with it like this. And man, this Brownells Aluma-Hyde 2 Magpul FDE is spot on. It is perfect. I mean, it matches better, as good or better than anything I've seen as far as matching up to Magpul FDE. Way better than the coyote color that I tried before. I'm gonna take some pictures and roll in and show you side by side up close so you can see what I'm talking about. But this thing is just, it's perfect color match wise. I've already got a few little scratches on it where I dinged it while it was still soft and whatnot, and you know, whatever, no big deal. I'm real happy with how it looks. I think it just really sets the gun off and looks great on the gun. And I've already done a little bit of shooting with it, did some sighting in with it the other day. Stay tuned for videos about that. And yeah, it looks great. Also, you'll notice in the last video I was talking about my foregrip, swapping it out for a Tango down quick detach, and this is what I was talking about right here, this quick detach. So I'll be able to take that off easily and quickly if I don't want it on there, if I want to put a bipod out there or whatever. But Anyway, I'm gonna roll in some close-ups of this thing and maybe some footage and show you what it looks like. But if you're looking for a do-it-yourself, a way to do it yourself, you know, painting, whatever, and you want to match up with Magpul FDE, I highly recommend this stuff. It is for the most part perfect. I mean, to me, it's perfect. Someone with a more critical eye might differ, but to me, it's absolutely spot on. It looks perfect, and it should be. It's branded as Magpul FDE, you know. So, I mean, anytime you have a paint on metal, it's never going to match up perfectly to a injection plastic, just because it's different materials. I mean, even this, you can tell a difference between the grip and the receiver right here. Both of these are Magpul Flat Dark Earth, but you know, it's just different materials, so the light catches it slightly different. But yeah, I'm extremely happy with it. Very glad that I went with it. If you're wanting to get some of this stuff, it's been on back order. You may have to wait a little while to get it. So if you want some, order it now from Brownells, and I highly recommend it. I'm real happy with it. It turned out great. So yeah, very happy. Appreciate you guys watching. Y'all stay tuned.